Come, sit by the fire and hear the tale of 5 steadfast adventurers as they explore the mysterious isles of Doctor. Join us on the Swordcast Adventures.
Last time on the Swordcast Adventures, I did not sleep well last night. I couldn't get the image of the trolls eating that kid out of my head. It hit me, you know. This is happening to these kids because they're orphans. Because there's no one to notice they're gone except for that piece of shit doing this to them. That could have been me when... whatever. Anyway, we followed this distant chanting till we found where these frog things are coming from. There were guard towers surrounding the village. I took the opportunity to do what I do best. Climbing the first tower, my exhaustion almost got the best of me, and I alerted the guard. Luckily, Elduin had my back and took care of him before the other guard could hear anything. I was able to focus and took out the second guard without making a sound. It felt good to finally show these guys what I could do with a little cover and silence. From the tower, we got a good look at the village. We found the tent that seemed to be the source of the chanting. Once I managed to get inside, they were tying up one of the kids. It seemed like he was going to be, sacrificed or eaten or something. The fight that ensued was a mess of frogs and toads, and the tent started coming down at one point, but all I could focus on was saving this kid. That's the only thing that matters right now.
Thank you very much, Rain. Everyone, shit has gone crazy. We are jumping back into this halfway through the initiative order as Loud Scout stands out amidst the tents in front of the leader of this frog humanoid band as he raises that crystal in his hands to the sky, calling out, "Org, org!" And then 1, 2, 3, 4 tentacles pull themselves up, gigantic, slithering, thick beams of flesh pull this humongous creature out of the pit. Now stands tall behind him. Its jaws dripping, its mouth big enough to swallow the entire party at once. Not actually, and it begins its attack. So, as it does...
It's in range already? That guy's fucking...
Well, no, it's its turn.
Oh, okay. I was like, it just jumped right out at a motherfucker.
It is. Done. No, what it is it begins to move forward as you see the leader's hand point towards your little Loud Scout who has been chasing him and stabbing him, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I was going to stab him, but wasn't able to because I had already used my bonus action.
Still, you've been harrying him.
I have.
And
there's also a giant earthen fist that is just sitting there.
In between him and the leader.
Because the grasp did not grab the guy.
Currently in the form of a middle finger.
Frog fister.
No more frog fisting.
You don't tell Loud Scout how to frog fist.
Didn't we just come from the Jambalaya, the great
Jambalaya Battle Royale?
Oh, Jambalaya Battle Royale! Oh, I forgot.
Okay.
Now it's getting extra spicy.
God damn it. It is its turn, and it begins moving forward, hefting its large feet one after another. The ground shakes underneath it with each footstep as it rushes towards you, Loud Scout, with a surprisingly long gait. And it gets about 15 feet away from you and stops almost suddenly, and then wields back one of its tentacles and throws it towards you.
Alright. Here it goes.
Here we go!
First attack. 14 to hit you.
Shield.
Hey! As you throw up your reactionary spell, you see this glistening, glittering wall of magic just break in between you two, and you see its giant tentacles almost splash off with a sickening, squish. Then its second one flies forward towards you. cocked. On the other hand, that one's a 25.
Yeah. Not much I can do about that.
We get you for, that is 22 points of bludgeoning damage.
Woof.
I am at 22 health points.
Yeah, I guess you are.
Dropped in one shot.
And you feel as you're you're at what?
I am at exactly 22 health points.
So you're just down.
Yes. I'm unconscious.
Nice. Way to go.
If you were able to, you'd feel this thick, muscular tentacle wrap around you.
I'd assume that it kind of picks him up and crushes him, if I had to guess.
It doesn't have another attack. It just grabs onto him at the moment.
And
So it just picks him up, or?
none of us saw that, right?
Elduin's outside.
Eldwin saw it. Okay,
Yes.
cool.
So you feel
Okay.
this tentacle swish and wrap around your I guess you don't. Your unconscious body. And Elduin, you see Loud Scout go limp as he's raised into the air.
It's a bad start.
It's not a good.
Bad
It's
start.
not good.
I was kind of worried that's how this was going to start.
Were you still wearing my helmet?
No.
No.
Okay.
It's too big for him.
Also,
when he's in
it
normal.
wouldn't matter.
No, it wouldn't. I just want to get that back.
For the visual.
Don't eat my hat.
At that point, you see it begin to pull your small companion back towards the large portion of its body. That does, in turn, end its turn. Bringing it to Grimtuck, who is inside, in this clusterfuck with crayfish and giant toads and Rain protecting a child and Metolius protecting her.
So, swing on the wounded crayfish.
Is it too late to say that while this thing was rising out, I would have yelled at the tent and been like, "Shit!"
I would say it wasn't your turn. And within that 6 seconds of yelling out,
Okay. Just wanted to alert the group. at
I
large.
understand.
Yeah, until such time as that, I'm going to swing on the wounded-looking
'Kay.
creature. Trying to do what I can seize. Yeah, that's a good start. That's 18 plus 8, so 26 to hit.
26 to hit?
Yes.
26 hits.
Just a reminder that I did tell you that maybe people could use your assistance outside.
No, you told me to come inside. Literally, I was outside chopping down stuff, and you're all, "Hey, we can use your help in here." And so I ran inside. Otherwise, I would have kept chopping down the walls.
I see.
Oh, I could have done better on that, but that's okay. I do
Ross, look at your messenger.
I did.
8 plus. So I did 13, 14, 15 damage on that one.
14 damage?
Yes. 15.
Okay. 15?
Yeah.
You hear a sickening crack as you cut deeply into the carapace. And as you raise out your weapon, it drips with gross orange ooze, and the creature falls limp.
Nice. That gives me a bonus attack for Great Weapon Master, meaning I will take another.
So there is another crayfish and there are 2 toads, and you're about, at least especially at your size, you're about in range to all.
Nice.
You added your D4, right?
Yep.
Cool.
And so I will swing on, let's just say, one of the toads.
Okay?
They got a lot of movement. Wait, that's a D12. That's a critical fail.
Is it now?
It is.
So you know what to do.
Am I doing percentiles for this one?
Of course you are. And calling high or low as you do it.
I'll say, let's do low.
Okay?
And I got a 3.
That's low.
Low.
That's low as fuck.
Very low.
You miss.
Alright, and final attack.
Your axe just flies over.
I could have done better on that for the toad shot. That is a 12 to hit.
You'd be surprised. That hits.
Oh, okay, cool. I could use some better rolls here. Another 15.
A 15?
Yeah.
You catch the toad at the side and you see its grayish bulbous flesh kind of ripple as you cut into it, and black ooze pours out. It still stands, but is looking quite bad.
I will yell and say, "Get the kid out of here! Go capture the leader! I got this!"
We're ending your turn. That's good. Make a death saving throw, please. Please roll a natural 20.
14.
That's a success, though. Step in the right direction.
A mere success.
Next, it brings it to the toads. That toad that you just cut into there, Mr. Grimtech, would like to reciprocate. It tries to hit you with a 10.
That does not hit.
No, it doesn't. The second one sees. No, you're kind of right in the center of those two. So the second one does the same thing. You are super. It rolls in that 20. That hits.
That's fine.
It's 24 to hit.
Yeah, had to give him a. The gods had to smile upon them before they.
You had to give him shit.
Yep.
So it hits you for 12 points of piercing damage.
So that drops to 6.
Yes. And 3 points of poison damage as you feel.
Which just shits right out of my pores. Because Grimtug does not care about poison at all.
Gross. Yeah, so if you are immune, then you take no damage. What you do feel is that the toad gloms onto your leg, and you are now grappled, even at your size.
Ah! Wait, what size are they?
They're large.
They're large?
They're big
same
beaks.
as me.
Yeah.
They're like horse-sized frogs.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They're huge
And
things.
horse-sized crayfish.
Which brings it up to Rain's turn.
Alright. So I don't know anything that's happening outside currently.
No. I would say you would have felt the ground shake, but you would not know what that means.
Okay.
There's no contempt flat at the front, right?
It is, but it's not facing exactly the way. It's not facing straight towards the.
But it's a 10. You know, run through the wall.
No, I was saying like she could see
Oh.
through the entrance, but if it's not directly in front of the entrance.
Right.
You could try to see something by rolling a perception check if you wanted to, but I would say it's a disadvantage because you.
Might as well, right? Let's see. Without taking an action, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
That is a really good one.
So 17.
You see at the very top of the entryway what looks like a very almost fine point tip of something muscular, like almost like a tentacle, just kind of whip in view and then is gone.
Okay. So that makes me aware
That something's out
that
there.
going outside might be a bad idea.
Well, being in here is not great.
Yeah, that's true. Damn it. If I look behind me, is the tent like flapped in a way that I would be able to get under it and get outside, like behind me?
You could try to do so. You'd also have to kind of, because your back is basically to cages.
Right. Okay. So it wouldn't be easy.
It wouldn't be
I
just
couldn't
like
do it
taking
in one, like fluid. Like,
no, it wouldn't be
okay,
like taking
never mind.
like 3 steps back and like dipping under.
The
Right.
kid in the cage, he's safer there.
I mean, you're almost not wrong.
Lock him up.
Right?
That's
Seriously.
not a bad idea, honestly. Actually, yeah, that's a good question. Could he be in the cage without it being locked and like still be protected? You know what I mean?
You have no way of knowing that.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, I'm just gonna attack this toad in front of me and continue to shield the kid with my body.
Do it.
Let's see. So Rapier, is he? Am I flanking with him with anybody? No, right?
No, the one that's in front of you would be the one on Grimtuck's leg,
Yeah, well, there's
But-
one grappling me.
but there's not. It's not in a way that would make it flanking.
Okay, but obviously he is within 5 feet of Grimtuck then, so I
Yes.
at least get my sneak attack damage.
Yeah,
Alright.
flick him my leg.
Attack for the other time?
Yeah, the other toad,
Oh right, it missed him. That's right.
it missed.
So then, that'll be I'm rolling good tonight. A 26 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Excellent. So we got what?
I would say that hits with gusto.
Yeah, right.
D8 and my sneak attack.
You're shooting the one that's grappling me?
damage.
That's that's what
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
cool.
totally.
That thing's about to turn into paste.
So 2,
Pate.
Right?
4, 8.
Yeah.
I can do math today. I swear to God. 16 damage.
16 damage.
Yep.
And you hit it with your. So you take advantage as Grimtuck flexes his leg, feeling the.
Sorry,
Also true. Did you add your...
No, I didn't add that.
So 17?
Yeah.
Okay. Still isn't dead. But you see Grintug, in reflex to the bite, kind of twist the toad just slightly, giving you advantage on this attack, allowing that sneak attack to just slide the rapier right into its form. And you feel its squishy, bulbous form just spread out from your sword.
Okay.
It sinks in like a butter knife and comes right back out. You see that kind of gout of black, but it still holds tight.
Excellent. Well, I mean, I'm just gonna continue to shield this kid as much as possible, and yeah.
Gotcha.
And just stand ready.
Sweet. It is now the actual living crayfish's turn, which is going to attack Metilius, because he is the one that is the closest to him.
Bran.
He's gonna. It's gonna be Broughton, sir. First claw attack. Hacha! That would be a 11, which definitely does not hit you.
Glances off my shield.
Ping! Second claw attack is 10. Is even worse.
Yeah.
So you just throw your shield out forward and you see around the sides 2 claws clamp onto it, but you're able to throw it off. And the creature goes scattering to the ground. That brings it to Elduin's turn.
Okay, so how far am I from Loud Scout, this creature, and the summoner leader?
The summoner leader would be behind him now, next to the fist that Loud Scout had left.
Which crumbled when I was knocked unconscious.
The pile of rocks that Loud Scout had left.
Okay.
Which the summoner leader is probably about 35 feet from you.
Okay.
The giant creature is probably about 30 feet, give or take, and he is now grappling onto Loud Scout's limp body. So 30 feet from you.
Okay. And the summoner.
You and Loud Scout are pretty much equidistant from the creature,
Yeah.
just on opposite sides.
Yeah, sure. And the summoner is still on the edge.
Effectively, he's not like his heels aren't at the edge, but he's on the edge of the side.
Sure. Remind me what he looks like again?
He is a giant bulbous frog creature with lots of accoutrements and
Size medium.
Yeah, he's a medium
About
humanoid creature.
Approximately the same size. Okay.
Boss guy in episode 1, the fact with the big throat thing.
Yeah,
Sure.
Boss Nass, just less
Sure.
well-made clothing
Sure. Okay.
and lots of teeth on him.
Okay. I'm going to run about 10 feet towards him.
Okay.
And I am going to summon with all of my might the greatest gust that I can to try and push this guy off the edge.
All right, Ang.
One sec.
Push him off with arrows.
Yeah, exploding
Push him
bloods.
off of this mortal coil.
Yes.
Is he hurt? Is he?
He's a little hurt,
shot
but
him
he's
with
not.
one arrow.
Yeah,
That's not
he's not
good.
super hurt.
Oh, that is how Gust works.
Yeah. If you're looking up gust, it has to make a strength save.
Okay.
Otherwise, he's pushed 5 feet back. I assume he's within 5 feet of the edge.
Effectively, sure.
Cool. I'm gonna do something different if he's more than 5 feet from the edge.
Hold up. Let me just double check for my own doings. Because the creature rose up behind him, I would say no, he is not at 5 feet.
Okay.
Just because he would have... The creature is bigger than 5 feet, and it literally rose up behind him.
Okay. So he's not within 5 feet. Then
No.
I'm going to instead shoot this guy with arrows.
Excellent. If you have any arrows that knock him back, though, I'll let you know when he's within 5 feet.
I mean, nothing other than standard magic, but
Just take each turn and just gust a little bit more.
yeah.
Send his ass to the face.
It's a good use of my entire turn.
Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that.
Okay, so firing an arrow.
'Kay.
It is going to be magical, but not arcane.
Okay.
17 to hit.
17 to hit. 17 hits.
That is going to be 9 points of piercing damage.
Boom.
And then I'm going to fire my second shot.
Okay.
For 27.
27 to hit.
Yep.
Hits.
And another 9 points piercing damage.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
And then remember, this guy bark skin too. So we gotta throw mean shit at him.
Magically protected himself. I
Yes.
did not realize that.
Yeah.
But also, I think both of your hits hit effectively what his AC would be.
Yeah. I mean,
So
Oh, so that just increases AC. That's not like.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
it just means he's a little harder to hit. Is all.
I did not know.
He's a little tougher.
For some reason, I thought it was like damage resistance.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Word.
That's all I got. I'm tapped out.
Okay, that brings it to Metolius.
I mean, I'm gonna yell to the tent and say that she's going down.
What are you saying?
Come now! Loud Scout is down!
Okay, so there's a hurt frog on Grimtuck's leg, one unhurt frog, or a toad.
Neither of them are unhurt.
Yeah, there's two
okay.
frogs on me, but they're on their way out.
And then a crayfish that has taken some damage, but seems fairly robust.
Yep.
I would assume.
Grimtuck did yell for everybody. Gave you guys the full window to get the fuck out.
But Metolius would probably stay until the job was done.
Fair.
As much as he really wants to be getting outside. So, am I able to flank one of these creatures?
For the toads or the crayfish?
It doesn't have any of them.
I would say the toads, yes. And yeah, because of the clusterfuck, I mean, you could flank a toad and not get a attack of opportunity because you're staying within melee of the crayfish.
Alright, I'll flank this toad for my first attack.
Okay, it's the one that is not attached to it.
Okay. So, 22 for the first hit.
Hits.
13 points of magic. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it was one more because I have magic weapon cast on myself. So 14 points of magical slashing damage.
14 points of magical slashing damage. As your sword cuts into it, it finds purchase on whatever vital organs are left after Grimtuck's deep wound and removes life from that creature.
Excellent. I like that. I will attack the other toad.
Okay, the one on Grimtuck.
Yep. If it's grappling him, do I have advantage on attacks or just regular? Just swing.
I think you're just gonna be swinging.
23.
23 still hits.
15 points of magical slashing damage.
15 points of magical slashing damage as you almost deftly and as though on the winds of the Fey folk you follow, you dig one sword deep into the first toad, spin around, and with that momentum, bury your sword deep in the second, ending both of them in one fell motion.
Excellent.
I guess two fell motions.
So the toads are dead.
Toads are dead.
Crayfish is in melee with me and anyone else, or no one? Or me and...
Only right now you're between the crayfish and everyone else.
Okay. I'll just turn to my compatriots and say, the tide of battle is turned. Go quickly. Help our friends. And that's the end of Metolius' turn.
Okay. As Metolius utters that, knowing that you have done some terrible damage to him so far, Eldwin, you see the large, wet eyes of the leader turn towards you, and you see his legs pump as he begins to rush forward, and hefting his spear in hand, he leaps at you.
Bring it, Frogman.
In the moment of him in midair, you see a sickening purple liquid be quickly wrenched from his jaw and splashed upon his spear as he stabs at you.
Yeah, don't like that.
No one should. And he is going to attack you with the two hands for a 14.
That's no miss.
There's a goal miss. You see that kind of sloppy purple spear miss you, and you see a bit of liquid splash. The viscous nature of it kind of set on top of the foliage around. He then takes the opportunity as he is leaned towards you, and you see his jaws open as he leans in to try to bite. That same purplish liquid sits upon his lips.
Gotta watch out for the sloppy purple spirits. DM's words, not mine. Not my words. DM's words.
He bites towards you, but misses.
I hate it when a guy runs at me with a sloppy purple spirit.
Is this a common occurrence for you, Matt?
It's so grody. Why do I come in this swamp? This happens every time.
No comment. He misses you with a 13 this time, and you just get little flecks of that slop just sprayed. It's gross. He's gross.
I've got like my fizz face going on.
Oh yeah, definitely. Also brownie points if you know what his face is.
That does, though, end his turn, bringing it to the giant creatures, whose bulk turns deftly, still holding your companion in hand, as he begins to move it forward towards its mouth. One foot after another, this gigantic frog beast starts to barrel towards you, the other 3 tentacles waving in the breeze.
Is Elduin you?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify.
The Froghemoth begins to rush towards you, Elduin. 3 still unused tentacles. He opens his gigantic, dripping maw, and with one motion, tosses your gnome inside. And then, from that, then the tentacle, now free, flies towards you. That is a 27 to hit. Yeah, I'd say.
Is it a tentacle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tentacle you got there, right there, sir. That's 10, 16 points of damage as it bludgeons into you. You feel it wrap around you, and you too are grappled. Well, you are now grappled.
Wait, don't you have to make like a strength contest in order to grapple someone?
Not in these kind of creatures.
Okay.
Certain situations, if he was going for an action to grapple you, yes, but it is part of the skill. Loud Scout, you take 8 points of damage, but being that you are unconscious, it doesn't actually...
2 death saves. Gone.
It is automatic critical.
Oof. And you're swallowed?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he is now within the gullet of this creature.
Fuck.
He has one death save to make.
Oh, he needs 2 death saves to get back. He has 1 death save to get a natural 20 to come back alive.
Right.
And if it's not a natural 20, he's fucking dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jesus.
This is... Yeah. What I am going to do to you, Elduin, is I am going to try to pull you towards me.
Okay.
So we are going to make a strength.
That's on the same turn as the hit?
It's his second attack.
Gangster.
Alright. Strength contest?
Yeah.
10.
Oh no.
That is a
More than 10.
23.
I figured as much.
Just a skosh.
That is higher than I possibly could have written.
You feel the ground start to move underneath you as you put your heels in to stop yourself, but are pulled by the strength of this creature. Its mouth open wide. You almost see the tips of Loud Scout's cloaks just at the edge of its gullet as you begin to be pulled towards this creature.
Okay.
Grimtuck, it's your turn.
At the behest of both Elduin's shouts and Petolius' stubborn half-elf ass sticking around, I will.
And effectively killing the 2 dogs.
I will charge past outside at full stride of my barbarians, running.
Not only your barbarians running, but you're also a large creature.
Yeah,
Nice. So I will tear ass outside the door.
Okay. By all rights, you'd be able to make it into the fray.
So what do I see?
You see a giant tentacle monster that looks like a frog with an open maw, readying to bite down on Elduin, and Loud Scout is nowhere to be seen. You also see the beast.
It's very small. You could be hiding anywhere.
Hiding.
Yep, he's hiding.
I will go. I'm gonna run up on this creature, giant frog monster.
I'm gonna get eaten and then put a health potion down
That's how you do
mouth
it.
inside of his stomach.
That's how you do it.
I am going
It's
to
real important, then. Let's say that.
full charge on the frog monster because it's the first thing that I see. I'm going to swing on it. We are doing, for the sake of this one, let's go. Reckless attack, great weapon master.
At the...
Froghemoth.
Okay.
Advantage -10. Or
Five.
-5.
-5. This is less than 10. -5 to hit. That's not great. So 11, 12, 13, 14 for the first hit.
14 for the first hit. That was 14 to hit.
14 to hit.
14 hits.
Wow!
Yeah. Boom.
Pile of hit points.
Smash him.
Make him barf. Make him barf. Make him barf. Oh, that's what's up. So that's 11 plus 10 is 21. Plus 8 is 29. Plus 1 is 30. Plus 2, 32.
32?
Nice.
Yes, 32. 32 damage on the first hit.
Boom.
And
You just sink into its squishy flesh. You see this odd, almost opalescent blood pour out of the cut.
And can I want to spin on my heels and chop the tentacle that is holding Elduin.
Okay.
Is it like at the base? I'm still swinging at his body.
Okay.
I just want to chop at that tentacle. What the fuck? That was bullshit.
That good, huh?
Is that bad?
I think that's what he meant.
Yeah,
I know,
minus
I was
5
being
is
sarcastic.
1 plus 8.
Yeah.
That's a goddamn 9 to hit.
9 does not hit.
Jesus, that was bullshit.
So in this fray, and in the
Rolled a
confusion,
6 and a 3.
Grimtuck runs forward and lands a hefty axe blow into the side of the creature.
You rolled a 6, you have advantage, right?
I did, a 6 and a
Oh,
3.
-5, right?
Yeah, minus 5.
The first connecting, digging deep into the creature's gigantic body. As you try to aim for the tentacle that is still clasping onto Elduin, in the confusion you miss, your axe digging deep into the ground. I would like you to roll a visual perception check for me, Grimtuck.
Perception 17.
You see the faintest bit of black cloth within this giant mouth.
Oh,
But it is well the end of your turn.
okay.
Let's go make a death saving throw, please.
That was gonna be a 3.
It's cocked.
It is
It
cocked.
is cocked, but
It's a 5.
Scott's body goes stiff. Breath leaves from you as the musculature of the frog's gullet squeezes the last bit of breath out of your body.
As my last breath leaves, there's this intense purple glow that just shoots out of my robes. And then fades.
Top of the round. Rain, it's your turn.
I can't emotionally handle this right now. Okay.
you don't even know he's dead.
I know, and I can't even react in game yet. God damn it. All right. What is even happening? Okay.
You are now in melee with... there's a crayfish next to you.
Okay.
Or near you, at least. and you are still protecting a child, Metolius, and you are
Am I
inside.
in melee with this crawfish?
Effectively.
Okay, so if I tried to move, it would be an opportunity attack?
Yes.
Okay.
And like last time, if you tried to disengage, it would be only you doing so.
Right, exactly. Okay, so in that case, I suppose I will attack again.
Okay.
And I'm flanking with Metolius? No, okay.
No. Effectively, Metolius is to your left.
That'll be a no, wait, that's wrong. 15 to hit.
15 hits.
Excellent. But Metolius is within 5 feet, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So get the sneak attack.
Snack is not prone. He is snack.
6, 10, 14, 17, 21 damage.
21 damage. Okay. Your blade pierces the hard outer shell, digging deep into this crustacean. You remove it with that odd orange kind of gross still stuck to your blade. But it is still snapping its claws.
Okay.
Roll up a cleric
Well,
and bring
once
yourself
again,
back.
I put my body as like much in between him and the kid as possible, and I stand my ground.
Okay.
You could offhand attack if you had another weapon.
Oh,
If you're not going to use your cunning action.
that's true. I didn't think about that. I do have daggers. I could
Yeah.
offhand attack with a dagger.
Dagger.
Dagger. So let's see.
Really just
Cease and
dagger.
desist.
So it's
Yeah.
how does the offhand thing work again? It's
So the attack happens as normal. It's all the same stuff.
Okay,
and
gotcha.
then damage is just
without
purely the dice roll.
Got it.
And
Okay.
nothing else.
So that'll be a 18. To hit.
18.
Do I get sneak attack damage?
You only can sneak attack once.
Yeah,
per,
That's
per
true.
round.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
After that, it's not a sneak.
I'll count that. 8.
It's not sneaky.
8.
Yep.
Okay. Still up as you...
But dagger is a D4 damage.
It is D4.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was like...
I'm all kinds of
It's a
distracted.
badass dagger.
Right?
It's a really hardcore dagger. It's not...
That is a 2.
There we go. Okay, it is still kicking. And speaking of that, it is going to retaliate. First, rain at you with... That is 20 to hit.
Oh, back at me. Yes, that hits.
That is 7 points of damage for the first one. The second claw snaps, hitting you for 12, which doesn't hit you, if I'm not mistaken.
That does not hit.
The second one misses completely, leading into Elduin's turn. You are...
Is it too late to uncanny dodge that for half damage?
Yes, because I already did the second attack.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And effectively ended its turn already. Elduin. You are being dragged in by this giant meaty tentacle. You saw a giant purple flash erupt from that black piece of fabric you saw, and then die out.
Okay. Well, so I'm grappled. I would
You
like
are.
to fight the grapple, but I also want to shocking grasp the tentacle as part of the grapple.
Can you
being able
Feywild
to
this
grapple,
bitch?
is that what?
Okay,
I
so
not.
I guess that would have been something you could have done for Loud Scout. You probably would have.
I would have.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, so fighting the grapple would be an actual action.
Action. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I am going to fight the grapple.
Okay.
It's just strength check again, I assume.
Yep. It's athletics together.
Well, you can use athletics or you can use dex or
Yeah, you can
strength.
use,
You can use
acrobatics.
or the creature grappling you can only use its strength. You can use one or the other.
Oh, I'm definitely using
Unless
acrobatics.
it's
then.
the creature has
Yeah.
some.
No, that's legit for rules for grappling. I've looked them up a bunch.
Okay. So I can use acrobatics.
Sure. Yes.
Great. That is a 22.
22.
Against the creature's strength or acrobatics.
21, excuse me.
You feel a slight slip as you feel the release of the tentacle, but as you're about to dip under it, you feel it very quickly wrap around you as it rolled a 25.
Alright. I am going to use my bonus action to just take a couple of deep breaths and steel myself and use second wind to restore
Okay.
some number of hit points.
It's a D10 plus your fighter level.
Thank you. D10 plus my fighter level.
You should just make an app that's me, like, reminding people of the rules of D&D. With my on-demand knowledge.
I will heal for 12 points.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is my turn.
Okay, Metolius.
There's a crayfish.
There is a singular crayfish.
It's in combat with me, in melee with me.
Yeah,
And Rain.
effectively.
Both of you.
But not within, not flanking.
Is it bloodied?
It is, you could say that, sure.
Alright, well, I'll attack. I'm not flanking it? All right.
You're not.
Okay.
You guys are effectively next to each other now.
19? Or, sorry, 19 plus 7, so 26.
Yes.
14 points of magical slashing damage?
14?
Yeah.
Once again, you see the hole Rain had made. You take your sword and you cut down straight into the already damaged area, and you feel your sword split it and then hit you. And you see the creature go limp and fall.
How many feet is it to the front of the...
15 from where you are.
Can I make it to the leader guy with just my movement?
It'd be close, but yeah, probably.
Because he did move in from the cliff.
Yeah, he definitely moved towards Elduin, so yes, because Elduin was closer to the 10.
Metolius pulls the sword from the crayfish as ichor splatters across the ground. And he just takes off running toward the front of the tent. And once he gets outside,
You see this you see this scene here. You see your elf companion being drugged to this awaiting maw. You see your gigantic half-orc fighting heartily with the side of the creature. You see the leader standing there, spear in hand, ready to attack again, and you do not see Loudscout.
I don't even think that particular aspect registers on Metolius.
Sure.
But he just charges forward toward the leader.
Yeah, sure. I'm just saying what you see.
Oh yeah. And he raises his sword high and he makes an attack.
Okay.
I'd say he probably tries to attack the side that holds the... Well, I guess if is he still holding a spear with 2 hands?
Yeah.
And I don't see the crystal.
You
Like,
don't.
He put it away.
He did.
Okay. Well, then I will just attack him.
Okay.
Because I don't see the crystal. So.
Sure.
Alright. Coming in. I'm gonna use my last luck.
Okay.
Alright, here comes the TPK.
Hell no. That ain't happening.
I'm on watch. 7 plus 7. 14.
14? 14 does not hit.
Alright.
That's your
Of course,
turn.
I can't roll over a 10 when I actually play the game. Oh, I'm done.
Okay.
Dude, I rolled a 6 and a 3 on a reckless attack. Great
Yeah.
Weapon Master.
Alright, I'm done.
Yep.
I'm glad I used my luck.
The leader spins towards you, Metolius, seeing that you are attacking or trying to attack it. It looks at you with wild eyes and takes its spear and stabs forward towards you.
Bring it.
2 hands. 24.
That'll do, pig.
That is 7 points of piercing damage.
Yep.
Then it is going to try to bite you as well.
Sure.
It's cocked. That is 20 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. That's not the right die. Sorry. That's 2, that's 4. That's 4 points of gross piercing damage.
Do I have to make a save?
No.
Okay.
It's just gross. So this creature, almost more on instinct now that he is being attacked on all sides, but believes that this creature may save him, goes wild.
That's the end of my turn.
Okay. Froghemoth. I'm going to drag you one more time there, Elduin, so let's make a contest for dragons.
Okay.
Is that a strength contest, or you need to oppose
He gets
grapple?
to use his
Well, no, it's a strength contest to be pulled, not grappled. So.
And it's not. I can't use acrobatics for this, I assume.
No.
Because you're just pulling me. 12.
That is a 24.
Yeah, no, this thing's crazy strong. Yeah.
You feel the tentacle go tight around you, and then you feel your feet leave the ground.
Yeah, sure.
As he tosses you into his awaiting maw, you feel the sick, slick nature of its mouth as it chomps down upon you.
Yep.
Jesus. First time we split the party.
Yeah, right.
So you feel its teeth bite down hard upon you with, effectively a 23.
Damage?
No,
To hit.
to hit.
That super hits.
Super hits. This is gonna super hit too. This thing is nuts. Oh, why am I rolling good too? That's not funny. That's not funny at all.
It's hilarious!
That's not funny at all.
That's 19. That's 25 points of piercing damage.
Oh, sure.
Then you are blinded and restrained.
Are you inside this thing's
He
mouth?
is inside the
he's
mouth.
Inside the mouth.
Yeah, I'm.
Swallowed.
In the jaws of death.
Yes.
Second, Grimtuck.
It has advantage on strikes against me.
Ooh,
Good
the
to know.
Yep.
Yeah.
You just saw Elduin fly into the mouth of this creature and damn near disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Then one of its tentacles flies towards you.
Bring it. Get them dice ready for opposed strength checks. Opposed grapples.
22.
22 hits.
I mean, you're not opposing anything at the moment. You will be
Yeah.
until your turn. So don't worry about rolling yet.
I got it anxious.
I understand.
Fancy and the pantsy.
I understand. He hits you, and as it wraps around you, it is 22 bludgeoning, which I'm guessing goes to.
11.
There you go. But you are grappled. And that ends its turn. Grimtuck, it is your turn now.
So it would take my entire action to break this grapple.
You take an action.
So could I still bonus action swing on it once I got out of it?
You could also just swing on it when you're in it.
You
Yeah, I
don't
know.
have you don't have disadvantage while you're grappling.
I just don't want to get eaten. Jeez. This thing's mean as
You're a
shit.
very big creature.
It's very true. It's very true.
You are a horse-sized grandpa.
You are a horse.
I weigh a ton, so it would be tough for him to lift me, maybe. I don't know if he can lift a whole ton. That's tough.
Let's see if you can.
Can he eat large-sized creatures?
Don't know until he finds out.
I know, right?
Frog gummers. You are the one who's being gummed now.
You were the one who was being Did you say that last one was 22 damage?
Yeah,
Useful
so 11.
Son of a beast. Yeah, fuck it. You only live once. I am going to reckless attack, great weapon master.
'Kay.
2 swings.
2 swings.
Try and take this guy the tentacle off that's holding me.
Okay. If you're... Okay. Just do it. Let's see what you get.
So that would be 11 down, but all the way up to 17 to hit.
So what would it have been if it didn't take off the...
+5 on the 7.
+5.
22.
So that'd be 22.
And how much damage? That definitely hits, by the way.
Yeah.
We get paid for just tentacles.
All right.
And I always try.
These are his hands. 24.
I swear it. I saw it.
26. So that is. Sorry, I'm doing quick math. Quick maths. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 damage.
26 damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then second attack.
Got it.
Oh, yep. Natural 20.
Ooh!
Yeah.
You get to make a great weapon master attack.
Yep. 3d12.
Give him the business.
Those are looking good. Those are looking good. I got 11, and then 19, then 27. Oh, wait. 28, 29, 30, what, 40 damage? Yeah, hold on. Let me add that up again. I'm having trouble with quick maths. Let me go calculator. Yeah, so it's plus 10. So, yeah, hold on. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 19, 20, and then 30, 31, 32, 33. That's about right. Yep, 33 damage on the second one.
Okay. Yeah, as you come down upon that tentacle, you feel it no longer stop as it has, catching the musculature. Instead, it cleaves straight through, removing one of the tentacles off the creature.
Is that like 50 plus damage?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you removed a tentacle.
Yeah, you get go for broke.
Uh,
That was awesome.
Why, thank
you are also no longer grappled.
Yeah, I
as the
hope not.
tentacle falls limply to your feet.
And I am going to just with my
same
last
reaction.
one turn to just to the Froghemoth and just yell just as slatheringly as I can.
Okay.
I want all of his attention on me.
Don't you get to make one more attack?
Oh yeah, because it was a critical. That's right. Good call. Totally forgot about that.
We really do need to make it up.
11 miss?
Latolius, do I get an extra attack?
Yes.
Okay, Matt. How many attacks do I get?
I'm gonna be the Alexa.
That one wasn't great. That one does not hit.
What was it?
I rolled a 3 and a 4, and it was a reckless attack, so it was a -5. So at a -1 to start, so it's a 7 to hit.
Actually, once you start going negative, it's really easy. No. But that does bring it to the top of the round. Rain, you are alone with a child and a bunch of dead things around you.
Again.
Again.
I mean,
This is what got you to the island.
Alright.
it's just true.
It's how I knew Jess was meant to be a mother.
Alright. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go with my pack. I'm gonna pull out a ball bearing.
Okay.
And out of my poisoner's kit, I'm gonna pull out the little bowl from the a mortar and pestle.
Yeah.
Kneel down to the kid, and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna cast darkness on the ball bearing, and put it down on the ground next to him, and then cover it with the bowl, so that if it's up, yeah.
Sure.
And then,
So for a second there, the entire area around both of you goes black, and an almost arcing.
A hemisphere?
Yes, a hemisphere surrounds you, and as you cover it, it dissipates, and the child, you see his eyes were wide for just a moment, not knowing what was happening, then sees you again, and tears start rolling down his face.
I'm gonna take out a dagger. How old is this kid, by the way? I think we established 8?
Yeah, 7, 8, I thought.
Yeah, right?
Between
Okay.
8 and 10.
Cool.
He
He's
was
a
all
young
looking
child.
To me.
Yeah, that's fair.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Know each other.
I'm gonna kneel down and I'm gonna say,
My
hey.
dad works with a human. You guys know each other.
So I'm gonna cover it with the
Yep.
bowl, and I'm going to kneel down and I'm gonna tell him, all right, you have to be brave for me now, all right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you this dagger. Okay, can you hold on to it for me?
Almost fumbling, he grabs it, and you see him. He doesn't really know. He obviously hasn't really done anything with a dagger before, and his grip's a little loose, and his gait's shaky.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab his hand and hold it tighter around the
Okay.
handle, and say, I want you to hold it like this, okay? And I need you to stay in here. If anything comes in here, I want you to take that bowl off of that pebble, and it'll make whatever comes in a lot harder to hit you.
You're leaving?
I am leaving, but I'll be right back, okay? Now,
You see him kind of start to shrink down.
if something comes in, pick up the bowl, hold out the dagger in front of you, and just start swinging,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
Stay here. I'll be right back.
Okay. And you see him just kind of crumple into just on the ground. He's there, dagger in hand, tightly held, knees up to chest. And yeah, you see tears. You see sobbing.
Okay. I'll like rub his back for a second, and then I'll go out the front door.
Okay. And you walk out the front door to see this Lovecraftian horror show. You see a frog man with a spear. You see Metolius fighting him. You see Grimtuck standing amidst a limp, removed tentacle. You see the feet of Elduin kicking from the gullet of this creature. And then you see that creature, gigantic, bulbous, almost otherworldly.
I assume it's pretty pissed off at this point, too.
Yeah, it's 4 little eyes on its eye stalk, have that mean look. Arr, arr, arr.
Eyes somehow achieved like an inward pointing eyebrows.
Yeah.
Where there
Despite
are
not
no
having
eyebrows.
Yeah.
Beside.
You see these
Despite not having
4
a brow.
eyes upon an eye stalk wildly searching around, and you see it almost frothing at the mouth
Alright, I guess.
as this creature stands about taller than Grimtuck is.
How far away from it am I?
It's pretty close to. It's like all by the door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Does it
you're
move
probably
out of
like
the ground?
20 feet away from it at most.
Okay. Alright, I guess in that case, I'll stay in the doorway for now.
Okay.
And how does dodge work again? If I use my bonus action to dodge?
It has any attack.
Or no, never mind. That's not one of it. Just dash, disengage, and hide. Never mind.
Yeah.
It was 3.5. That
You can
dodge.
take a dodge action, it's
Um,
not a bonus action.
Yeah.
But I already used my action for it.
To give the
Darkness.
knife and darkness.
So I guess I will.
Just take it all in.
You
Just
Yeah, I'm
You
just
can-
gonna
you can
assess
hide.
the situation.
You could hide.
I guess I could hide.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'll hide. I'll go out. I'll go up to the doorway, see, look around,
just slowly
see what
walk
is happening, and yeah,
You're like,
just kind
no
of
bond out of there.
sink back in and hide.
Okay.
you open the door and then you're all fuck. Close the door.
Roll a stealth check, please.
Okay.
Stealth check, please.
Not a problem.
Eldwin, you are restrained and blind and in the middle of the gullet of this creature.
That would be 11.
Okay.
You believe that you were something.
Absolutely.
Cover your own eyes and assume that if you can't see them, they can't see you.
See you.
That's
Do
how it
it,
works.
Elvin. Whatever you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Break that grapple.
Can I break the grapple while inside of its mouth? I don't think so.
You effectively have disadvantage on attack rolls. So you can make an attack roll, you just have disadvantage. And your movement is 0 because you're restrained, but
Yeah.
also blinded.
Yeah, no. Does that give me so both of those conditions would confer disadvantage? Do I have double disadvantage?
That
No such
it's
thing.
just
Okay.
disadvantage.
Okay. So, can I reach my dagger, my short sword?
Yes.
I'm gonna grab it.
'Kay.
I'm just gonna wildly swing it around. Though I'm not directly in front of me, in case there's a
'Kay.
living friend in front of me.
'Kay.
But just like above my head and below me.
Sure.
I'm just gonna try and swing it.
So yeah, disadvantage. Please.
Ooh, that's a. God damn it. I rolled a natural 1 and a natural 20.
Okay, I would like you to roll percentile and call high or low.
Yeah.
I think you got 2 short swords.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
gonna
gonna say, and 2 attacks.
Yep. No, I got another attack. If barring disaster. Low. That is a 51.
As God spat in your face.
Twice. A 20 and a 1, and then 51 on a percentile, high or low call. God.
You, Elduin, you stab forward to try to catch some purchase on some amount of the creature's insides, and you reach a point where you try to pull it back and you feel the sword slip from your hand.
Can I grab my other sword?
Yes.
I will do the same thing and try to slash with my second sword.
Okay.
And down one sword.
You are absolutely down one sword.
That is that. I haven't swung with my sword in so long. 11 to hit?
11 does not hit. You see it, you feel it just slide down farther into this gullet.
Okay. But I still have it.
You do still have it.
Okay, cool. Well, that's my turn.
Okay. Metolius, you are standing next to the leader, and yeah, what you doing?
Metolius is gonna attack it.
You gonna attack it?
Yeah.
Got it.
23.
23 hits.
I will pop a Divine Smite into him.
Okay.
No need to hold back.
My grand plan of becoming a decoy is working.
Alright, that is 11 points of magical slashing damage
Okay.
and 10 points of radiant damage.
Okay. Yeah. You see this creature screech as your blade catches into him and burns as the radiant erupts from it.
Okay. And I'll make my second attack.
Okay.
How's it looking?
Terrible.
Terrible?
Terrible.
I like terrible.
You caught it deep within its like fat gut, and you see its black blood kind of running down. It's grasping onto
This
its
is
side.
the
The leader.
No,
The leader.
The leader, dude. I rolled an 11, which is a 12, plus 7, so 8. 19.
19 hits.
And I will smite at the chest.
Okay.
Do it. Sooner he's dead, the sooner we can fucking focus on Mr.
This will be the
Evil.
radiant. This will be the slashing. 13 points of magical slashing damage and 12 points of radiant damage.
You raise your sword high into the sky, and if anyone was not paying more attention to the giant creature,
I have a thing. Maybe if
how
he-
would you like to do this?
Yes. I bring my sword high, and he maybe perhaps tries to deflect a bit with the
Sure.
spear, and then I just cut straight through the spear, and then like probably about halfway down to his sternum.
For a moment, his eyes seem to focus on where your sword split the spear, and you see a slight bit of ember from the radiant damage that cut through it. And then he notices that his vision splits as well.
Crumbles at my feet,
Absolutely.
and then I just turn and I say, "He's down! Help Loud Scout and Eldwin."
What's my name?
So many. I don't know. What is your
Yeah.
name even?
Elf boy.
Elf boy.
Elfington.
Elfie Elfington the third.
That's racist.
But I'm half elf, so that's my word.
I'm not a big fan of race. So I get you. I understand how it is.
That's the end of Metolius. Well, I think he'd move to be in combat with this
Okay.
oldest elephant-sized.
I think you probably already were. That thing has a huge.
No.
I mean,
I mean, sure, he's...
Metolius moves so he's in combat.
There you
right?
Elduin, you take 9 points of acid damage as you feel its mucus begin to seep through your armor, through your clothes, and start to burn your
Is he
skin.
fully swallowed now?
He effectively would be now.
Okay, so I just can't, like, he doesn't have, like, legs sticking out now at this point. He's, like, been...
No.
There's no boot to grab.
There was
Yeah,
a
that's
gulp,
fine.
and that's when it
Okay,
burned.
got it.
But one tentacle flies towards the large Grimtuck.
1 ton Grim Tuck.
Not the same tentacle, obviously, because that one broke off. But another tentacle flies, trying to hit you for a 19.
That hits.
Hey, we're going to roll this. That's a 8.
That's not so bad.
15. I'm not done. 15 and 21 altogether. 21 points of bludgeoning damage, marked down to 10 effectively, and you are once again restrained.
No, grapple.
Grappled, thank you. Metolius. Another tentacle flies towards you. 28.
What?
28.
Oh, yeah.
You
It's a skosh over my AC.
a skosh, just a skosh. You see this tentacle fly with speeds unbecoming of a creature its size. It connects with you for that is a 25, and you are also grappled. 25 points of damage of bludgeoning damage as you hear creaking of your armor under its grasp.
That is not good. I need my concentration check on my magic weapon.
That you do.
25. So half of that.
Ask Matt.
12. I figured it out. The DC is 12. Which I rolled an 11, so I lose my magic weapon.
Okay. Grimtuck, you are once again grappled.
Y'all know what time it is. Same play.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about
Jesus
advantage.
fucking Christ, I couldn't be rolling lower. I missed. Rolled a 3 and a 1.
Ugh. Second?
Don't roll them together. That's where you're cursing yourself.
That's money. So the second one hits for sure. So that's...
Ask Matt how to roll.
Yeah.
I know, right? So 18 minus
Ask me about
5
dice
is 13
superstitions.
plus 8. I hit it, 6.
Okay. It's a big hulking creature. It's not hard to do so. Unless you're inside its
In
mouth.
fact, I could be flanking it right now.
Right.
Not while grappled though.
So 5,
You can't get flanking when grappled.
5, 8, 13, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 to the one that is grappling me.
Okay.
Tentacle.
You cut deep into the creature's tentacle. It's not off yet, but you do see that same oddly opalescent blood start pouring out of the wound.
What is opalescent?
Pearl.
Oh.
Sort of.
Like
more
kind of like a opaque blue with orange highlights.
Okay.
Little weirdly shiny, almost like oil slick on water.
Yeah, I was gonna say, think oil slick on like a white background.
Okay.
That does bring it to the top of the round at Rain.
Oh my god, I haven't even thought this through yet. I guess I'm just gonna
There's
come
not a
out
lot
of
you
hiding.
can do.
I know, exactly. I'm just gonna pop out of
Insert
hiding.
Rapier A into Froghemoth.
No way, you can get all your damage. We're within 5 feet.
Let's
Elduin
see.
specifically.
He doesn't count, I don't think.
I'm kidding.
I am indeed with him.
Yeah, okay. So, I'm
That's
gonna
fireball on
pop out of hiding and just shoot it with my crossbow, I guess.
Okay.
For a 21.
21.
Hits, yes.
21 hits.
Excellent. And is there any reason I get sneak attack on this one?
He is being threatened.
He is being threatened, but again, being grappled.
But because Matt's grappled.
Well, both of them are grappled.
Both of them are grappled. Okay, so then just straight damage then.
Yes.
Alright, it's not gonna be a lot, but it'll be something. That will be 5 points of damage.
We gotta get ungrappled to get you back in the game.
I know, pretty much. So that's 5 points of damage, and I'm gonna use my bonus action to keep hiding.
Okay. Roll stealth, please.
Yeah.
You got it.
Stealth it up.
That would be... I'm not doing great with myself tonight, but still 13?
13?
Yep.
Okay. You feel as though you are...
Stealthy.
Yes.
Yep. I think that I am hidden.
Okay.
And that's all I can do. That's what I got.
Let me just check one thing to make sure of my own ruling. Grappler is incapacitated, so sneak attack doesn't work. I just wanted to make sure.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, of course. That does bring it to Elduin. It is your turn. You are still within the mouth. You are now fully within
Burn
the
it!
I'm going to wave my sharp metal around and try to hit again.
Okay.
Burn it.
That is a 19 hit.
That definitely
There
hits.
we go. That's better.
Stab it into the mouth.
Stab it out its neck so we know where you are.
Yeah. Cut its big frog throat open.
Oh, that's a different damage die.
Yeah, that's
6 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna wave it around some more.
Okay.
Like I just don't care. For a 14.
14 hits.
Yeah.
Way to go.
For 7 points of piercing damage.
13.
good.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to try trying to grab one of the healing potions that I have and then fumble around and try to put it in my face.
Okay. That's fine.
I have. I'll use the greater healing potion.
Okay.
Probably
Seems like
a
a
good call.
situation for greater healing potion.
Okay.
I don't remember what. Ask Matt. How much does a greater healing potion heal?
Okay, Metolius.
I believe that is 8d4 plus 8.
8.
Greater or superior?
Greater.
Yeah, no one's good.
I think that's 44 plus 4.
Yeah.
44 plus 4. Okay, here's 2d4. That is 13. It's not.
I was right.
I heal 13.
Okay.
I have one less greater healing potion. Just to say, that was my last one.
Metolius.
Oh man, how is this creature looking?
I mean, it's not great. It's missing one tentacle, and there's a bunch of cuts on it. But its gullet seems thick and full. Yeah.
Phrasing.
Yeah. Intentional.
I'm gonna use a bonus action and Misty Step
Neat.
30 feet away.
Okay. You do that.
That's my last second level spell slot.
Chop me down, buddy.
And then I place my hand upon my crushed, bruised ribs from this tentacle, and I'm just gonna empty the last of my lay on hands into myself for
Okay.
38,
Word.
Nice. That works too.
putting me to 40.
Yeah, that's important.
And I'm done.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I'll use my movement to move.
You also see the tentacle that was wrapped around you just slop to the ground.
I'm only 30 feet away from it.
Stay the course, man. You're out of attack range, but you can run at it.
Yeah, I'll just stay where I am. I won't use my movement.
Okay.
Well, that's the end of my turn. I've used my action and bonus action, so done.
Elwyn, you take 9 points of acid damage as you once again feel that continuous burn.
Throw Tums in its throat.
You said 9?
9.
Do so.
Grimtuck, the tentacle releases from you. It's not your turn.
Oh.
Sorry.
Damn it.
The tentacle loosens, but seems to wheel back and come straight forward towards you again. For a 19 to hit.
That hits.
So slap you around.
For 10, 16, so 8 points of... Actually, 1 sec.
What?
I have advantage on you.
Sure do, but
Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's just 8 points.
okay.
Let's see. It moves forward, and seeing you once again in its view, Metolius, it tries to move close enough so it can whip a tentacle towards you.
Sure.
As it pushes forward, trying to keep Grimtuck in its grasp, it throws a tentacle towards you for 13, missing.
That is correct. It does miss me.
And that ends its turn, bringing it to Grimtuck's turn. You feel the creature try to pull against you, but is almost stayed from your mass,
Okay. Awesome.
though you are still grappled.
Yep. No worries.
Meat shield.
Yep.
Meat shield thing.
Y'all know me. Grimtuck's a meat shield.
Are you doing
Same thing I've done every single round.
excellent? Just making sure.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm in it to win it.
Yeah, I was about to say that exact phrase.
Yeah. So that would be 13 plus 8 is 21 minus 5 is 16,
Which hits?
which hits.
Which hits?
Nice. 11, 12, 22.
Okay.
Wait, no, I'm not done yet. 11, 12, 22, 30, 32 damage.
Okay. It's still standing, but you see the tentacle. I'm guessing you were going for the tentacle or the body?
I'm going for the tentacle. I'm getting myself down.
You feel it loosen its grasp as the second tentacle to be cleft off of the creature. It now only has 2.
Awesome. Next one is a body shot.
Okay. Body shots on the giant frog beast. My favorite. That's what I go to Mardi Gras for every year.
8. Yeah, that doesn't hit. That's a 16 minus a 5.
It's already naked.
Oh, god damn it.
That does not hit.
Frustrating. And so bonus action, I'm going to drink my greater healing potion.
Okay.
Did we decide how much that was?
44 plus 4.
44 plus 4. Mm-hmm. 12, 16 hit points back.
Okay.
I can't believe some of these rolls I'm getting tonight. They're garbage.
Rain.
Yeah, whatever.
Also, your companion is no longer restrained, but he is close to it.
Yeah. Drop
Okay.
him. Come on, glass cannon.
Alright.
Stab him.
That would be a nat 20.
Oh,
Yeah.
snip snap.
That's
Alright.
what we needed.
That is what we needed.
Right there.
Are you shooting at it? Is that what you've been doing?
She did
Yeah.
declare.
Yeah.
But,
Natural
okay.
20
I
on
figured.
a crit. Yeah, no,
Sneak
take all
attack.
attack. Sneak attack.
Snack attack.
Alright, so.
Oh, that's what we needed.
Isn't this a vicious hand crossbow?
No.
Oh. I know. I want one.
Here we go. 12, 13, 16, 18, 20, 24, 28, 30, 32, 35 damage.
Would you like to take it or should I?
Go right ahead.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
You see all this going down. You see Grimtuck cleave another tentacle off this creature. You do not see 2 of your companions. They are no longer visible, though his stomach seems to be distended and expanded from something it ate. You see Metolius jump back to gain a bit of health from the damage he has taken, and you level your crossbow at this gigantic monstrosity, and you pull the trigger, and your shot hits true. As you fire, you see it arc just higher than you expected, but catch right at the base of the eye stalk, and as it cuts the optical nerves that set upon its head, you see the 4 eyes fall off of the creature and land on the ground with an odd squelch, and you see one last roar and flail of its tentacles as this bulbous frog beast almost melts into a pile of flesh. Not literally, but figuratively. Its maw opened and screaming. You see Elduin's feet kicking out, and Elduin, you feel no longer restrained, and the battle is over.
Metolius rushes forward and just tries to throw the shield and sword down to the ground and just tries to pry open the creature's jaws.
Yeah, Grimtuck would be helping with that for sure.
Okay.
And try to pull Elduin out.
Okay. I would say he's not restrained by the musculature anymore, so you're just grabbing onto his ankles and pulling.
And Grimtuck is going to start looking for Elduin,
Wait.
Elduin for Loud Scout.
Okay.
Looking
'Cause the mouth is already
behind
open.
The creature.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see nothing behind the creature, and Elduin, you see light as you are yanked from the creature's maw,
I kind of pull him out and give him a pat.
drenched in just
Where's Loud Scout?
gross ichor.
He's still in, go!
He's in the creature?
Yes!
Hack, cut right into its stomach. Not all the way, enough to kind of get a hitch
Okay.
from my axe, so I could just kind of like how you gut a fish.
Yeah.
You just kind of get an edge in there and
Okay.
just pull it and just gut
Okay.
Is-
the creature.
Rain or somebody standing
Rain's at
around?
the doorway.
Yeah, I think I would start making.
Okay.
that.
So
Who
you-
else is Metolius, you're I'm gonna fumble around in my pack and pull out one of my basic healing potions, and I'm just gonna hand it to you and just be like, for Loud Scout!
Metolius takes it, and as he does, he puts a hand on Eldwin's shoulder, and he casts Cure Wounds for 8 HP.
Okay.
Back to
Thank you.
Eldwin.
So you crest your axe into this creature's stomach, and you pull. The creature splits open. That opalescent ichor pours out upon the ground, as well as many bits and pieces of small frames and hands much smaller than yours. And then from out of that slop pours out your small companion, whole but not moving.
I found him! I have him! Grab him up.
Metolius will
Give him the potion!
Metolius will use
Do it.
his healer's kit
Okay.
to diagnose.
Okay, roll a medicine check with advantage.
Well, a healer's kit just
Allows you to see.
stabilizes it, so I'll roll.
I would say if you're using your medical knowledge in the healer's kit, that would just give you...
Just the diagnosis.
Yeah, because that's what you're trying to do with it.
Yep.
Yeah?
I pull out herbs and poultices, and I start looking at Loud Scout, and I feel.
There is a
put
small...
my hand under his.
There is a small piece of mirror that comes in these, used to see if breath is there.
I was gonna say I put my hand under his mouth, or in front of his mouth or his nose to see if I can feel breathing, but I'll use the mirror.
Okay.
And
As Eldwin hands the potion to Grimtuck, and Metolius holds the mirror in front of Lascat's nose, no breath is seen.
I put my hand over where his heart is located.
You feel nothing. Stillness. Quiet.
Metolius lets
I'm
that.
just holding him while all this happening. He's super tiny.
I'm like watching this happen and kind of like starting to grasp what could be, and I'm like kind of slowly approaching, not like running up, but like kind of preparing myself.
Okay.
I'll slowly.
You also notice that he's in your arm. You notice the acid did a number on his body as it just laid limp in there. You see on the edges of his hands and bits, the little bits of his face, you see skin peeling away.
Metolius lets out a heavy sigh and kind of closes his eyes extra hard and in pain, and almost like wince of pain. And he just looks to his compatriots and says, "We lost him."
He died a valiant death.
No.
Slowly, just lowers him onto the ground. We shall drink to his memory. That's what he would have wanted.
I agree. Let us gather what we can from this place and make our way back to where we camped last night.
Elduin is going to walk over to his body and use prestidigitation to clean it off a
Okay.
bit.
Yeah. You see all that bile and ichor just slough right off onto the side and disappear, as we have discussed it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can raid this place. I'm going to burn it to the ground.
I agree, we should. Rain, perhaps you would fetch the child.
Yeah, I can do that.
We should take Loud Scout back to where we camped
Where is
last night and bury him on that hill, I think.
Where is that accursed gem that this fiend was summoned with?
His body's over there. Mount
I'm gonna
Metolius.
Go over to
slew him.
the leader's body and look around.
Okay.
Yeah, while Eldwin searches the body, I'll investigate the tent, looking for
Okay.
anything that might have been left behind.
Eldwin Love, roll an investigation check. Same with you, Metolius.
I got a 10.
A 10.
A 10.
I got a 12.
You find a few bits and pieces, what seem to be components, in this pouch on his body. You also find the stone stuck within that same component pouch.
Okay, what does the stone do? Do I identify this, or is this something foreign?
This stone, I mean, granted, this is probably a little bit foreign to you, but it also feels so familiar as it sits cold in your hands.
It's familiar. Familiar how?
It feels cold and it looks like blue quartz.
Da.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Is it the color of, like, sort of energized blue, or is it, like, de-energized blue?
It looks dark.
Okay, it's dark. It's like the statue after it had
Sort of, yeah.
Used all its
after
juice.
it had used its juice. Okay. So first off, I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was misreading that as you had picked it up.
I was looking around. I picked up the pouch. I
Okay.
see it in the pouch. I'm going to sort of toss it out onto the ground, and I'm going to start studying it. If things are sort of at a calm place, I'm going to actually begin the identify ritual to see if I can make anything of it.
As far as you can tell, it seems calm right now.
Okay.
This place is about to be an inferno. Perhaps we should wait to identify any spoils to when we get back to the hill.
I just wanted to make sure that no more surprises would come from this.
You're not wrong, and I support you in this.
Yeah, you throw the components in the crystal upon the ground, Elduin, and you walk into the tent, Metolius, and begin to search.
Mm-hmm.
You find a few things kind of stuffed in the corner, almost as kind of a show of wealth. You see it sitting next to what seems to be a makeshift seat, not very much a throne, but a place where you expect the leader was sat. You find a few things there. You find what looks to be a potion of healing of some kind. You notice the similar liquid in the bottle. You find an odd wooden oaken staff that seems to be crested with almost a serpentine head on the top. You find a scroll wrapped up and tied. And then you find a bunch of small items, including what look like bracelets that could be gold, a set of dice with let's say a slightly off-white color to them. The actual divots, what are those? What are the dots on dice called?
Pips.
Thank you. The pips are hand-carved and slightly off at times, but they do seem to be filled with kind of a deep red, possibly paint, possibly stone of some kind.
Or the dice bone or wood?
The off color almost feels, and the kind of cold nature of them makes them feel like bone.
Okay. Engraved bone dice?
Yep.
Okay.
You find a small mirror. Though dirty, the frame around it seems to be intricately designed and painted. Probably wooden. And then you find a good amount of coin. I can just give you the numbers for it. This all seems to be hefted upon a pedestal where the leader may have just been presenting it as his hoard to his people.
I'm ready for the money.
919 copper.
That's it.
That's it. 4,349 silver.
It's not bad.
4,349.
Yep. 1,072 gold. And 107 platinum. Okay.
And that's all. That's it?
That's it.
Okay. I bring out. Yeah, I just start unloading treasure out, and
Okay.
then I bring Eldwin the items that aren't coin.
Okay.
Basically.
Cool.
Grimtuck is going to. Is there any fire around right now?
Well, there was initially fire in the center of this tent. It's gone out now. There seems to be torches here and there.
Yeah, I'll spark a torch.
Sure. You can
Start going around to any structures after they've been looted and just setting them on fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Making it a point to make sure that they burn.
Sure.
Just almost kind of far away gaze methodically.
Yeah.
Not like,
I figured it
I
would.
already knew what something else
yeah.
was, so.
Yep. Okay. You take time.
Before you went by.
Also, if nobody has done it, I am going to de-hand the boss frog.
Oh, good call.
I think it was talked about, but yeah, go for it. As a follow through.
Yeah. And I think we should get paid for these tentacles. I don't know. It wasn't really included in the thing, but this is the biggest frog I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'd say take him.
We can certainly make a case.
How do you even harvest this thing? I don't even know
You've already
what it is.
Grab its eye stalk and those 2 severed tentacles that you
Fair.
severed in the battle, and maybe that will be enough proof for them.
So Ray, I go to turn to go into the tent to like get the kid, but before I like turn and before I go, I turn around to everybody. And how would you guys feel about maybe when we turn in all these hands and everything and get paid, giving Loud Scout's portion to the orphanage?
I already gave him money.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
They can use their 100 gold. They're the ones who employed a psychopath who sold children, who let him walk amongst them.
I think
They can deal with their own problems.
we might be able to give them something, but
We came here at the behest of the leader of their people on a bounty. One of ours fell. This money is ours, and it was not included in the agreement.
I have to say I'm inclined to agree.
They get nothing. We're here on a job. This is part of that job. One of our people died because of that job. I'm not giving them shit.
I can't say I disagree.
All right. So I'll go run get the kid from the tent.
Okay.
Plus, if we want to honor Loud Scout's memory, he'd want us to spend it all on booze anyways.
That's fair. So I'll go get the kid,
Okay.
and I'll kneel down.
You see him almost reach for the small cup as he's about to kick it
Yeah.
over, and then he notices it's
And I'll
you.
be like, it's okay, it's me.
You see him shaking.
What's your name, by the way?
Alden.
Alden?
Alden.
Hi, Alden. I'm Rain. Everything's okay now, we think. But I think it's safe to come out now, alright?
Okay.
You can
There.
stay with me the whole time, and we're gonna get you back, okay?
Okay.
And then I'm gonna pull a platinum out of my coin bag,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna hand it to him. And I'm gonna say, listen, at one point in my life, when I was around your age, I was forgotten about too. So I want you to take this. And if you find yourself in a situation where you don't have anyone, I want you to save it for that and use it to get yourself through, alright?
Oh, okay.
He'd do better if you let him keep that dagger for the same reason.
Wait, you're not in the room, are you?
I was
No.
coming around to burn
Oh.
the tents.
Effectively, I'll say he. I'll say you're. There are multiple other tents.
I could
Grimta.
just set it over my shoulder.
Good God.
I'm a
Okay.
dick.
Metolius is like hauling out loot as this is happening. He does not. He doesn't pay attention.
Okay.
He lets whatever's happening.
You see
happen.
him kind of shakily put the coin in his pouch and nod. Just okay.
Alright, let's get you home.
Okay.
And I'll take his hand and I'll head out of the tent.
Yeah. He just goes with you.
Hmm.
He follows you. So yeah, altogether you've grabbed things. You lift up your fallen comrade. I'm guessing, do you hold him? Grimtug, you are big.
Yes, that's fine.
As
We've
you-
searched this whole place, right?
Yeah.
Kind of taken it out. There's not a whole lot else to
No.
it. I'm going to look down into where the frog monster came from and see if there's anything down there.
Okay. You can roll a perception check for me then.
Natural 20.
You notice at the very edge on the left side, from where you're looking, so if you're looking forward, you see the kind of break in that crescent. To your left, you see a small opening that's just cresting the water's edge. It seems to be like an underwater cave, maybe where the Froghemoth kind of moves in and out of.
How easy would it be to get down to the water from up here?
Very easy to get down. Getting up would be the problem.
Okay. There's a cave down there. I think it's where the creature came from. I'm going to go take a look. And then...
Be careful, Grimtalk.
Ditto. I am. Many of my abilities are spent.
We are all tired. We should perhaps just get out of here.
I want to see. We came here. We're never coming back here.
Also, at this
They
point,
worshipped this creature like a god. Who
the
knows what's down there?
fire begins to grow in force behind you.
Is this considered a short rest?
Mm,
I guess
Not.
haven't really.
Probably
Yeah.
not if we're like.
I mean, effectively,
pulling
we're still
treasure
in
and
the
stuff,
moment of
but-
10 minutes for
Okay.
what you're doing.
Yeah,
So
but like
no,
we could
Okay,
make it
cool.
a short rest if we wanted to, probably.
As
Who
you
knows what they
let
put
the
down there
flames
for
grow.
offerings. Who knows what they kept the treasure, but they worship this thing. Who knows what they offered to it?
I hear you. Is there a way to get out of the cave and out to safety if the fire grows, Laura?
Oh, the cave's down at the water.
The cave's underwater. You would have no idea. You're also like if it's under the water, you could effectively guess that the fire wouldn't even affect it, but you don't.
Sure, but I'm more concerned about like, okay, we get out of the cave, we get back up to the surface, and we're surrounded by fire.
He's doing it by himself, and the cave's at the water's edge, which is about 10 or 15 feet down from that edge.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check it out.
Okay. So you put down Loud Scout?
Yep, I'm gonna just... Lord, I'll hand him to Metolius.
Oh.
Did you want to... I mean, in that questioning, did you want to go with him, Mildwin?
That's why I was thinking.
Okay. I mean, what it seems to be, there's a great distance from the lip of this ridge to the top of the water where the cave entrance sits. And the cave entrance sits below the waterline.
Okay.
So probably not going to have to worry about the fire engulfing where you are.
Sure. Grimtug, how do you plan to get down there? Are you...
It's 15 feet.
To water, like, as far to water, no less.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Jumping.
about that big.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
Alright. I guess I'm gonna stay up top.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Grimtuck, you jump, you dive in. A loud, booming splash is heard as your half-orc friend breaks the water. And you go straight for the cave?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You push forward deep into it, and you see the light around you kind of dim as you swim into the cave. The hole is gigantic, being that so is the creature, or at least huge in itself. And you kind of push through. You find at one point a sloping upward edge seem to meet you as you're swimming forward, which would rise just out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have dark vision?
Yes.
It is pitch black in here, so you will only be able to see a very short amount of distance, even with your dark vision.
Okay. Yeah, I have dark vision 60 feet.
So yeah, it is basically low light, so it's hard to see, but you can at least see the ground in front of you.
Okay.
And you notice this place is oddly wet in nature. You see moss kind of growing on all of the stones. You see algae and what look to be bones littering the ground.
Is it just an open cavern, or does it go back further?
It goes back further. And it kind of seems to turn as you're going towards the back of the crescent.
Mm-hmm.
It turns to the right and follows that arm down that you guys, the opposite arm that you guys traveled up. So it follows, if I'm thinking about the map correctly, it follows this side.
Okay.
Effectively the left side.
Okay.
You walked up the right side.
I will stealth.
Okay.
That's a 5
Okay.
for my stealth.
You believe you're stealthy.
And
As you hear the crack of bone under your feet as you walk.
okay. I'm going to move back just to where the cave turns
Okay.
and see if I can see anything around the corner.
Roll a perception check for me.
11.
The hole goes quite far down, well out of the reach of your vision, and bones still just litter the ground. Rocks, bones, pieces,
I will.
and a smell of rot.
I don't hear anything. I don't
No.
see anything else down
Nope.
here. I'm gonna go back. I'll exit the cave.
Okay, you dive back into the water with a loud splash.
I'm going to come out the other side in the water
Okay.
and just get still not too far up, and let everybody know there's a cavern down here and it goes far. I didn't see the end of it, but we need to go see where it goes.
Huh. Well, we should go as a group.
Yes, I don't want to have anybody else break away.
We should not be splitting up. Else, what happened to Loud Scout happens to one of us.
Bring Loud Scout with. He would want to be buried underground.
That is very observant. He would. Would he want to be buried in the den of the thing that did him in?
I don't think he would care at this point. As long as the place never saw the light of day. It could be his home now. We slew the creature. It's dead.
I like the way you think, friend Grimtuck. I'm on board with this plan. What say you, Metolius, right?
I agree.
If it's what we think that Loud Scout would have wanted, then that's what we
Furthermore,
we
it's
should
not.
do.
It's more about those creatures. The man in the orphanage was giving offerings to these creatures, and these creatures worshipped the frog thing as a god. And the frog thing came from back there. I want to go find out if anything else is back there and kill it.
Let us find out what lies within this creature's lair, and if it needs to be slain, we shall slay it. And if not, we shall bury our friend Loud Scout.
Okay.
And to get Loud Scout ready, I will loot him.
Yep.
You do. You empty his pockets. You take his cloaks. You take anything you find or deem necessary to not leave with him. Do you take the stone?
Do you want that in... do you want to put that in the bag of holding?
I think we should put everything in the bag of holding and deal with it later.
Just put his bag in the bag of holding.
Fuck, we could put him in the bag of holding.
Probably.
It's true. I mean, it won't keep, but he'll definitely be in there.
It's crude.
Great. We'll send him on a journey to
But
another
again,
dimension.
you would only notice him as a rotten corpse if you pulled him back out.
Yeah, it would just be... Well, that begs the question of, like, are there the decay creatures? Are there fungus and bacteria and vermin in the whatever plane?
There's ones that live inside of you.
In the demi-plane in the bag of
True,
holding?
They would
but there's
rot
no
you.
oxygen. Can they survive there?
I believe that you can transport a dead body in a bag of holding.
No, it's not about transporting. It's about whether or not it would actually decompose.
This is a weird time to have
Yeah.
this conversation.
The answer, I would rule it as yes, it will decompose.
Okay.
Though there is no air, though there are no fungus,
Probably
bacteria.
slower.
If you put a dead
Probably
body in a
slower.
room with no oxygen, it'll still rot. The bacteria and stuff inside of it will definitely eat it from the inside, and that's what causes decomposure and the smell and bloating. The gases in your stomach expand.
Sure.
So even if there's no air in the room, you will still rot.
Okay.
All right, into the cavern.
Okay.
Wait, shit. What are we gonna do with the kid?
I actually was just gonna, as he sees you
I'll
all
stay-
standing
I'll
around
stay up
talking
top.
about this, he looks over at Rain and you feel a tightness grip your hand.
Yeah.
And he just, I don't want to go into the water. That's where they threw everyone else.
I mean, I'll stay if you guys want.
This shouldn't be long. I don't know where this thing lived, but can't have been too luxurious.
Yeah.
Would you like to pay any final respects for our fallen comrade?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I just, in Rain fashion, try not to exude much emotion, but I do take a minute of silence before they cart him off.
Okay. You take your moment, and in the still gigantic arms of Grimtuck, Loudscout is brought to the edge of the lip, and Grimtuck plunges himself back into the water. Followed by Metolius and Odin.
Yeah, other one's coming.
Okay.
And I'll
The
stay
three
on
of
top
you-
with the kid. Oh, you can do that first.
I was going to say the three of you jump in, and you, Rain, see them all disappear, and you hear loud splashes below.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Oh, I was just gonna say I'll stay up top with the kid and I'll tell him stories about when I was an orphan in Neverwinter and like.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just kind of see him, like, hug your side.
Cool. And I also tell him to make sure that to not tell anybody that he has that platinum.
Okay.
To like keep it secret.
He nods.
Okay.
And listen to your story. You all begin to swim into the cavern.
Swim.
Yeah, you make it to that same rise and break the water line, and now we're standing within this dark cave with the smell of rot, the sound of bones at your feet. What do you do?
Investigate.
Okay.
I did not before. Let's go.
I'll help.
Yeah.
Oh, you're assisting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Metolius will help you look around.
13.
Okay. You find a plethora of different sized bones. You find a few bits of cloth, some leathers, but nothing of any worth or standing by any means. Pieces of it missing, bite marks through it, tearing, ripping, just gone, and then just bits of bone all around you.
Okay. From there, I'm going to place Loud Scout on the ground
Okay.
and start making a cairn out of bones.
Okay.
Just gathering them because I doubt it's rock down here. We can't really dig, right?
I mean,
Or bones and probably just rocks. I'll just grab.
Loud Scout, good dig.
Pull yourself together, man.
Yeah, I'll just make a cairn out of rocks.
okay.
And just start burying him.
Okay.
I do bury him with a piece of cured leather, a clay hand, one large bead of pine tar, niter, and sulfur.
His garbage.
His spell components. Come on, man.
I have a question. You have a tent. Is it a gnome-sized tent or is it a 2-person tent? From the player's handbook.
It's just a regular tent.
So like a 2-person tent.
Yeah.
I take that.
Okay. Word. Yeah, so you take your time and cover Loud Scout in your current.
Okay. So from there, I'll point and say, "Cavern's that way."
Oh, we haven't done. We haven't explored first.
No,
before
you guys
burying?
just... No.
Oh. Well, let's go explore.
If there's something back there, I didn't want to have to,
No, that's
have
fine.
his body and use it as a decoy or something. I've been disrespectful.
That's true.
I agree.
Okay.
Alright.
Let's search the lair.
So you push forward again, slowly, because it is all just low light and bad footing to you all.
I'm gonna try and stealth again.
Okay.
I'm gonna stealth too.
That's another crappy
My
stealth
hood.
roll. I got a 7.
Ooh, that's a good number.
Metolius rolled an unnatural 20.
Okay.
For stealth.
7 for Grimtuck.
22 for.
They
What do you
hear
do?
one person approaching.
You all stealth forward. You push to farther down, and again, that kind of odd reek and smell just grows as you go farther in.
And I have my ears open. I'm definitely listening for any movement, anything. We're
Okay.
trying to make sure,
Perception check, please.
sure we don't get. God damn. 10.
10.
17.
Nothing around you, just more of the same, but you do see at the very edge of your vision, you do notice that it seems to kind of turn just once more, but you also notice that the cavern grows just a slight bit smaller at the end, as though you're getting close to the end.
Alright, we push on.
Okay. You feel now your feet kind of breaking through this odd mashup of vegetation and mud and bones and just viscera that is just left in this odd formation. And as you're kind of stomping through it, at the very edge of where you can see, you see something about the size, I would say, probably of just short of Metolius's chin. Ovoid in nature. And odd, kind of being very out of place at the very back of this.
Ovoid in nature.
Yes.
Is it a big egg?
Yeah, is it a big egg?
Looks like a big egg.
Okay.
Alright, let's
Is
go
there
check it out.
one or more?
There's an ace 1.
There's one single ovoid likely egg. Walk up to it. Is there anything interesting around it?
Roll investigation.
Metolius will apply his knowledge of nature to this.
Okay.
17.
You don't find anything other than bits and pieces of what
sure
seems
it
to
was
be
missing.
victims and food.
Okay, 13.
13. The size and the fact that you almost seem, as you're kind of prodding around throughout this area, almost seem like you're in a nest of some kind.
Makes sense.
The egg seems to fit the formation of what you could expect, I guess, a Froghemoth would do. Your lack of knowledge on the creature itself, but assumptions can be made.
So nest with a single egg.
Yes.
All right.
Hologram check.
Shall we?
Ask it a question.
I'm going to flick out a firebolt at the thing.
Okay.
The egg.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
All right. 24 to hit.
That hits. That hits the stationary object that's relatively large.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's 2d2.
It is.
We probably should search the nest a little more.
13 fire damage.
You see your firebolt connect with the shell, and it cracks inward as you hear this odd popping and bubbling sound, and then the pressure from your flame and the boiling of whatever is inside cracks the egg, and you see it break and slowly peel open, and from inside, an ill-formed and now dying, as it is not ready for the air around it, tadpole with vestigial tentacles crumples and sloshes onto the ground.
I cast another firebolt at it.
I will say
I ordered that over medium, bro.
I will say it hits it. It doesn't even flail because it is already dead, but it seems to pop and burn
Okay.
as the firebolt.
Send a message.
As I walk away, I cast one more over my shoulder.
I will make you roll. I will make you roll for over the shoulder.
Put on his cool guy sunglasses.
I'm only doing that if we're all walking away.
Are we done with this place?
Definitely. As we leave, Metolius stops by the cairn created for Loud Scout, and he somewhat deconstructs it to the point where Loud Scout's face is visible.
Okay.
And then he takes the 2 lodestones that are in Loud Scout's belongings,
Mm-hmm.
and he places them over the eye sockets.
Okay.
And Grimtuck will snatch up the bottle of venom.
So you take the bottle of venom. Okay.
And I'm going to motion to Elduin with the bottle.
Oh, in a like a.
You take a drink, yeah.
I will.
And I'll pass the bottle.
Roll a Constitution check. Anyone who's drinking, roll a Constitution check.
I'll wait for him to
Yeah.
resolve his before he passes the bottle, I assume.
Dirty 20.
You're fine.
You actually have +4 for me, by the way.
What's a dirty 20?
Oh yeah, 25.
You're fine.
+4, you say?
Yeah,
Constitution?
yeah.
So 13 plus 17.
You're fine as well.
13 plus 17?
Okay. No, not plus. No. 13 plus 4 would be 17. So I take the final swig,
Okay.
close it back up, and I put it, rest it on the cairn.
Yeah, reassemble the cairn, and before we leave, this is not exactly what the thing was intended for, but I will use my channel divinity, Nature's Wrath, to summon spectral vines to ensnare a foe. Basically what I'd like to do is summon the spectral vines to pull the cairn into the earth
Okay. I think we can let that happen.
as a final goodbye
He
to
is
Loud.
interred.
I sent him back to the mud.
What he would have wanted.
All that's left after all this is done, you see these ghostly vines wrap around the cairn, and you see as though the ground was soft. It begins to dip deep within. Left only exposed is just the cork of the bottle. A small reminder that your companion now lays underneath the ground here.
Say a small prayer to Maliki, and we'll exit
Mm-hmm.
this tomb.
Okay.
Tomb. Nice touch. We killed a baby here.
Not the thing I was referring to as its tomb,
I
but
know.
sure.
2 parts.
Extra
So yeah,
credit.
you guys dive back in. Sans one Loudscott.
Yep.
Yep. And then should we just make our way back to Greyhurst now?
We should go to the place where we last rested.
Yes.
I think we should just go back. I
think
know.
it's more than a day's travel, isn't it?
I think we can make it.
I think we need to rest somewhere.
So point
If
of
only
order,
for an
real
hour.
quick. We got up and then we came here, and so it was like this is like noon
Yeah.
when we started this whole.
It'd be
debacle,
closer to like midday,
like
leaning
two-ish,
two-ish.
1 to 2ish.
Yeah, I would. Well, right now, yes, I would say by the time you get back to where you slept, it probably could be like around 4 or 5, depending.
We could rest, but we could push on and make our way back to Greyhurst, and then be. I wouldn't mind sleeping in a bed tonight,
I hear you, but
even
I
if it's
also-
late.
But we are also spent. I do not feel like we can push very hard.
We'll need to rest somewhere at least for an hour.
Oh, let us rest for an hour for sure, gain our strength back, and then push on back to Greyhurst. I'm sure this child would like to return.
At a heavy clip, pushing through, even with taking the hour, you could probably make it a few hours after nightfall.
Okay, that's fair. Well, we're gonna make our way. We could make it to our resting place from the previous night, right? Somewhere to rest, somewhere safe that's not on fire.
Yes, I think we could push ourselves a little further.
Okay, well then let's move.
'Kay.
So we'll go swim out, hail Rain and the child to meet us at where the water, where everything starts to go uphill.
Yep.
So at the mouth of this whole little, I don't know, whatever the fuck we're calling it.
Crater.
Thank you, crater. Meet over there. And then just say
Okay,
we're-
so yeah, you meet at effectively the entrance to the rise, initially, to the what would be the right side from Rain's perception. You meet there at the very bottom of it, where you first made your ascent, and you begin to push through.
Yeah, we push through the swamp.
Shall we fast travel back to? Unless anyone wants to do anything.
That's up to you, DM.
I'm fine with, unless you have something. Unless you have some idea, I'm good with.
I don't have something specifically during
Okay.
the swamp itself, unless you guys wanted to as well.
No,
But I will say,
that all Rain is
you
really
take a
doing-
moment, you bandage your wounds, you take an hour to rest up, and take in a few rations and some water. If anyone wishes to use hit dice during this,
I would.
okay,
Grim
you can
Touch
use hit
shrinks
dice.
at some point.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Grimtux absolutely gets back to normal sized. The child is small. Would anyone like to carry the child on their back, or like?
I can.
Well, I'd probably try to keep him close to me if like everyone's cool with that.
But
okay.
he's gonna be underwater.
Well, he's going to be a little over waist deep, so it'll be hard for him to run through certain parts.
Yeah,
Oh,
that'll
yeah.
slow us down if we're going in a fast tick.
Yeah.
So, at some point, I would either have you carry him if you're okay with it.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
If I can.
Metolius will help too.
So,
Um,
over the course of this entire excursion, after resting and finally making your pace and trying to make it back to Greyhurst, the child, has fallen asleep on whoever has kept this.
And yeah, I'd say that Rain definitely spent the walk and the rest and everything trying to like joke around with him, trying to like break the tension so that hopefully he's not like,
Did you tell him the old man is dead? Or in prison?
oh no, I didn't actually.
He might
Ki-
think he's going home to him.
Yeah.
he even through a few jokes, and this time he still seems very shaken from the events.
Okay.
He doesn't specifically seem to buck up at any point.
Okay, that's fine. I try though.
Okay. At the very edge, you make your way past the forested area of the swamp, and you see the now glowing torches of Greyhurst. What do you guys want to do?
Go to Sulk.
Yeah,
Okay.
go straight to Sulk.
Okay. You make your way, you find 2 guards. These don't seem like the 2 you interacted with on a great basis prior, standing out front of the basically the jail.
Don't really acknowledge them. Just
They
walk right past.
they know who you are. They
Yeah.
The House of Law.
yes. They let you pass, and they see you with child on your shoulders. Shut up. God, man. And you walk through. One does chime in as you pass, knowing not if you'll respond or not, just Sulk is in his chambers.
Thank you.
What time is it?
It's late.
Yeah, it's past
Bed chambers or the chamber of law?
his office.
Oh, okay.
His chambers, which are not bedchambers in here.
Okay.
It is past sundown, so it's probably around 8 or 9.
Okay.
From when you had started.
Okay.
So yeah, you walk into effectively his office, which is not the courtroom that you had been before. It is actually a large oaken desk, books piled high to the ceiling in bookshelves, and Sulk seems to be pulling and peeling over documents of some kind. And he sees you walk in and goes, "Your return. How did it go?"
It was successful, but not without losses.
What do you mean?
Our compatriot, the gnome, he fell in battle against a
I'm
mighty monstrosity.
I'm so sorry.
There
What?
was a cult of frog creatures. They were worshipping this thing like a god.
It was huge.
I have a tentacle and just drop it.
You
No,
see his eyes go wide for just a moment, and he regains his composure.
that was attached to something. What would you say? 15 feet, 20 feet tall.
At least. And then show him the eyes.
Drop them. Oddly, not as proportioned as you might imagine for something that big.
Creature was large and green and
You said they
like
worshipped
some
it?
sort of large frog beast.
You said they worshipped this thing?
Yes.
Seemed as such.
Interesting.
I've seen people who worship strange gods and creatures and aberrations.
Their leader had some sort of control over it with a stone similar to the statue.
Young child. Is the child in the room?
Is the child in the room?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have him with me. I
Right.
don't know if he's awake or not.
Could you take the child out?
Yep.
We did manage to rescue.
Pull the child out of your pocket.
Well, no, take him out. Well, once the kid is gone, maybe I'll. The cultists were feeding the children to the frog creature.
Wait, did you ask Rain to take the child?
Yeah,
out the
yes.
room?
yeah. And I
Okay.
took the child out of the room because I.
As Rain leaves, the door
I was
closes.
Like,
Yeah.
think the kid's sleeping right now, but still.
Yeah. I don't
Sure,
wanna go
sleeping
over
on
there.
your shoulder.
Yeah.
I mean, they know that. He knows what was going on, but they were giving the children of your village as an offering.
And you see
Orphans.
a twitch in just his right eye.
The old man was trading them. I don't know what power he was getting back in return.
It doesn't matter what power he was getting back in return, we now know exactly what he was doing.
If he could speak, I would ask him questions.
I can make him sing.
He no longer has a tongue.
Unnecessary.
I think this concludes the burden of proof and that
I agree. I believe this proves his guilt. And that my process was true.
a man like that could not be allowed to live.
There's not much life left in him, but I agree.
I have a
Totally,
request. Just one. The old lady. She's a cleric, correct?
She is.
Can she heal scars?
With enough time, I believe so.
I have
seen
a
her-
request. Your village owes us a debt, not just the money that you promised us, but we lost a person. I demand a favor. Before you send that man to the grave, that cleric needs to heal him of every single scar in his body. Because when he dies, I do not want his gods to recognize him. He will go into the afterlife a stranger. He will not reap the benefits of the people he killed. He will float in the seven hells, lost and alone, by himself.
He kind of looks at you for a moment, Grimtuck, and he sees where you're coming from. But he kind of looks back and goes, I agree. My village owes a debt far beyond just monetary. a life was lost, and that I apologize for, but I cannot make her do things against her will. If she does not wish to interact with Gare,
Explain to her the situation.
she's an
See
old,
if she may
kind
reconsider.
cleric. You may ask. I will ask. I cannot make promises.
You don't need to promise. Just an attempt. Men such as him have no right to go and meet their gods as a hero.
We do not even know specifically what gods he prayed for, if even that is his end. Why not just cut them off him?
If we wish to flay him first, that's your business.
Flay him after, for all I care. A life for a life.
Well, he dies regardless.
I
He
say
will-
tomorrow at dawn we put him to the blade. What you do with his body afterward.
I think you misunderstand my meaning.
He
Goes
will
into the
die.
afterlife with no scars. He is lost to his gods. They will not find him. He reaps none of the benefits from these sacrifices.
I do not know that his gods will require scars to identify him.
So be it.
Ah,
And now to the matter of payment.
Indeed.
yes.
I'm going to pull out the bits that we have from the bag of holding.
Totes?
So we have 2 snake heads,
Yes.
one of which is in some rough condition.
Okay.
We have 20 bullywug hands.
20. Ooh.
We have 3...
20 pairs.
No, 20 total. This one I have 20 bullywug hands written down.
That's from the first group. We have 19 pairs of hands total.
Apparently we have 19 pairs of hands.
Okay.
We have 3 sets of troll hands
Okay.
and a
Live child.
live child, but we also have a dismembered child's parts.
We were too late to save this child from the trolls, but we gathered what remained of its body to be interred.
These are the ones he was taking the most recent child to, but the trolls seem to have intercepted him.
I fear that might have been what he was looking for when you all came upon him.
No doubt.
It's a distinct possibility.
To know that I had no ability to save that one, that if we had maybe gone... Nah, there's no use in staying upon it. I
That is
must...
your shame to live with. May you never make the same mistake twice.
I must gather what I owe you. Do please stay the night, and I will have it for you within the morning.
We need to rest, so that should not be a problem.
I will also make time to discuss with her. With good song, I will talk to her about your request. I do not, again, promise anything.
Can
I will
Napoleus roll a religion check?
Sure.
What for?
Oh, so close
Just-
to a nat 20. A 19. What I would like to know is is Grimtuck's plan a sound?
Grimtux is based just off superstition.
I
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
But does Metolius know if this plan is sound to achieve the goal that Grimtuck wants to achieve? Or does it matter?
In some religions, people believe that they will go to their gods with their symbols upon them. You are unsure and find that whatever this was, is a bit too alien to know if Grimtuck's wishes would do one way or another.
Based on what knowledge I do have, what would I know based on...
Sounds like a hard maybe.
Yeah,
but that doesn't tell me how I should respond to you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the problem, though. Like,
Okay.
from most instances of this kind of thing, carving into themselves, they are carving to become closer. They are changing themselves to become
Right.
closer to their deity or make their path to. So, yes,
Okay.
but it's still only assumption.
Okay. I do not know this thing that Buvaz worships. I can't say whether it will help or not if we remove the signs of his religion.
I don't plan to be here that long. Just merely a thought.
That's fine.
Now please, leave what you have, at least in the sense of what I can offer for a reward. I will count it up. I must talk to the mayor and gather that our funds.
Alright.
To the inn?
Yeah, in.
You see him kind of start to jot down the amounts of everything and what you see and the extra bits to see seemingly maybe what he can do with them or he can offer for them. And you leave. You, all three of you, walk out to see Rain sitting with the child on her shoulders still and asleep.
We should take him to the old woman.
Yes, we should.
So, as far as you know, the old woman is still at the orphanage.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I would do, is after we were done here, take him back to the orphanage before I went to rest.
Okay. So, I say you travel over to the orphanage, finding the door still open and a light in the hearth, and Fane sitting within a rocking chair, seemingly drinking a cup of tea.
Okay.
And she sees the small child upon your back, sleeping, and walks over and very quietly goes, "I'm so happy to see him alive.
Me too.
I was not expecting. I cannot thank you enough. Even one saved soul is worth the world. Please assist me bring him to bed, and we will let him sleep it."
Yep. Yeah.
So you
I'll
and
get
this...
him to a bed.
Yep, you and the small halfling walk up the stairs, find the room that he sleeps in, and she tucks him in. And you see her put her hands upon his head, and you see a slight bit of white light flow through her fingers and into him, and you see what was restless sleep, calm, even just a little bit.
Excellent. Yeah, and I guess, as we, walk away and let him sleep, before I leave, I say, thank you for taking care of them. Not all orphans are lucky enough to get tucked in at night.
It is not only a pleasure, but it is my duty.
And I give her a nod and I head out.
And she goes back to her seat.
Cool. And I head back to wherever we're resting, I guess.
As you pass over towards everyone going to the bar, you see Sulk kind of come out from one of the roads downwards, and you see him turn and go into the orphanage as you walk past.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you make it into the Howling Stag. The night seems much more mellow and calm, and Kaiden kind of looks at you all and says, "Oh, you're back. Welcome back. You seem short one."
We'll have a bottle of whiskey.
Okay. And you see her kind of just gather the information
Based
from
on
your
our response.
just your faces, just kind of the general look. And she puts up the whiskey, and she puts up a second one and 4 glasses, and puts a glass in front of her.
Metolius picks up the bottle and he pours out drinks for all who are present. And he picks up his glass and he raises it up. And he says, "This is for Loud Scout."
For Loud Scout.
For Loud Scout.
The Loud Scout.
And she kind of chimes in and goes, for Loud Scout.
May his spirit find rest in this world so filled with troubles. And Metolius just slams his drink.
Yep, so does Rain.
Yep.
Same.
As you're all finishing up your drink, you see Vovrir kind of,
Which one is Vovrir?
the drow,
Oh, thank you.
kind of wistfully moves towards you all and begins to, "Where's my cute little," and you see as those words come out of his mouth, you see a sharp look from Kaiden, and they grow like ice and stop. And then you see his shoulders slump, and you see the life once in his eyes kind of drained for just a moment, and he looks at you all and goes, "I'm so sorry."
Just hand him a drink. Just pour a glass of whiskey.
And he just drinks it heavily.
We're sorry too. Believe us. I think we all wish we could have done something more for him in his final moments.
He kind of looks at you and goes, "There was nothing left then."
Of him,
Yeah.
we gave him a proper burial.
He turns around and
He's been returned to the earth from whence he came.
okay.
Can I insight check that?
Yeah.
Reaction? I'm not familiar with Drow.
Yeah, I'm inside checking that too.
Okay.
That's weird.
13.
11.
I'll give you advantage.
I was like, I'm more familiar with Drow when it comes
Yeah.
to being an elf.
Yeah.
Alright. 17?
Okay. He seems troubled by that statement. And you see him kind of turn around and turns back around, and the glass slams down on the table, and another, please.
Fill it up along with my own.
Sure, what exactly which statement did he seem to take issue with?
The fact that we
Buried him.
So there was nothing left?
We didn't bring him back, I guess.
Is there something the matter?
I would have thought even just checking with a person of the cloth would be good to at least send him to whatever place he wishes to be.
He only wished to be underground.
Or maybe more.
I guess we'll never know. He wasn't the most forthcoming with his past, and we didn't get a chance to ask him about it.
We knew not the gods that he followed.
You don't understand. Without a body, nothing can return to... It's fine, it's done. He's gone.
We did what we thought was best, in accordance to traditions that we are familiar with.
I understand. I would have thought one would try to bring him back to a priest, but
I'm a man of the cloth myself, and I could do nothing for him.
I understand, young one. But ours is older.
Do you mean the old woman?
It doesn't matter now, does it? He's at peace. He's gone. So let us drink to his memory and remember what little I knew of him fondly.
Yes, let's do that.
He takes one more drink and Vovrir leaves. And Kaiden kind of chimes in and says, I'm sorry about him. He's not really good with the whole death thing. I don't think he gets how it really works. He's had a comparatively, especially for his kind, cushy life.
Indeed.
I see.
I fear he believes highly of our little priestess.
It's true. Maybe we should have considered that, but
I mean, what is done is done, and you said he is at peace. That is important.
I believe he is at peace.
Good. Then drink to his life.
Aye, let us drink. As Metolius pours another glass.
I have said my piece. I wish to get my mind off of matters.
Okay.
I will see you all in the morning. I am going to study on a few of the items that we have found.
Okay. And yeah, it seems again that no one seems to bother you in any way. No one seems to really come to the table.
Metolius gets a bath,
Okay.
and then he gets laid.
Who would you like?
The dark elf.
No.
Out of the persons of the evening, you have a choice of a half-orc or a gnome of the female variety.
Can I just like...
You could swoon. You roll a charisma check to swoon someone in the
well,
in the
You
bar.
got
I
the
could,
Melfi lady at the bar.
No. God,
That charisma
stop
check.
trying to force
That
it.
charisma check would be so low.
She's like...
She's so all about him.
She's like the last option. The final option.
What a dick you are.
What? Metolius is grieving. He wants a pretty lady. I don't know. He's gonna play his lute and try to
Sure.
just, seduce some
Roll
pretty
me
young thing.
a performance and a charisma check in combo.
That's my performance. Not great. 14.
Okay.
The tears on the lute strings didn't help.
Nat 20 for my charisma check, though.
You're making fun of yourself. Self-deprecating humor for your crappy performance definitely gets the ladies.
No, I think he's doing that, like, playing the lute in the corner, like, trying to be
Anyways, here's Wonderwall.
edgelord. Yeah. Just trying to be an edgelord for Maliki. No, I think
Over the course of the night, you play your lute and you have your drinks, and Dado slides up with a bottle next to you.
What I was hitting on?
Dadel is a half elf.
No,
The guard?
Yeah, Dale's the guard.
Yeah, but she's also a half
Yeah.
elf.
She is. She
Yeah.
slides up.
Yep.
With talking and discussing of the current situation, she comforts you, and then she comforts you. And then you have a very...
I think at a certain point in the night, I just turn to her and I say, "Shall we?" And we abscond upstairs.
High five until this. Way up. Just not even.
Air high.
I'm
five.
just.
yeah, across the
Mental
bar.
fist bump.
Yep.
Channel divinity fist bump.
I cast Beast Sense because we know.
Oh!
Beast mode. I feel like someone's up there beasting.
I love it.
Does any...
Evolved.
I mean, that's the point, though. Lighten the mood. Grimtuck,
Oh man.
Rain, are you doing anything in
Fuck the
particular?
pain away.
No, I'm just fucking drinking.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
That's
just
what I'm
getting
doing.
drunk with Rain.
Okay.
Yep.
Just doing
Maybe
drink-
some
I'm-
gambling, but
yeah.
probably mostly
Just
just drinking.
normal Rain and Grimtuck stuff.
Yeah.
Probably trading coin back and forth till someone's dumb enough to throw in some.
Yeah.
I'm
Taking
gonna be
theirs.
repeatedly identifying the items
Sure.
that were required.
Eldwin's gonna work.
I'm gonna do. Yeah. There's a scroll, a staff. There's some bracelets. I want to see if these bone dice are magical at all. There's the little mirror. I want to identify them all.
Did
Okay.
not think the old lady was strong enough to bring anyone back.
Straight up, I agree. I
Yeah.
give you the jawbone necklace
You give me the jawbone. Alright, I'm gonna identify that too.
and this pearl that I found on Loud Scout. I have no idea what it does. Spoiler, I know what it does,
Did you
So-
just like laugh at your own joke, basically?
but I learned it from you.
Ooh.
I figure as you take
Never
your
learned
time...
humor from an elf.
As you take your time to identify, and as everyone makes their nightly ways, Metolius and Dadel leave. Grimtuck, Rain swindle a lot of people out of a lot of money and drink very heartily, even being rejoined at one point by Vavrier, who apologizes for
Now?
yeah
Okay.
apologizes for his previous actions, but wishes to celebrate another Underdarkian, another person of the Underdark, in whatever life he may have held.
Grimtuck's gonna elbow ranged a little bit and nod towards the dark elf and just do one of the little you, and just point you, him, you, him, you, him.
Yeah. At that moment, Vavrius sees this and goes, I mean, yes, if you wish.
Rain kind of rolls her eyes a little bit, then maybe leans into it a little bit too.
And he like kind of gives a wink to you, and he winks at you too. In his drunken state, he goes, "Don't worry, I'm not picky."
Everyone processes grief in different ways.
Yeah.
I mean, if
You identify a bunch of manic stuff. Some people
You
get
get
laid.
to studies,
Some people
laid,
have
drinks.
threesomes.
That would be an awkward rest of the journey.
It would be a hero sandwich.
Wake up, right. Wake up in the morning
And
and just be
Vavri's
like,
the meat.
never speak
He's
of
the
this
lucky Pierre.
again.
The what?
He's the lucky Pierre.
I think it's actually pretty common though, right? When you're grieving to.
Have threesomes?
Probably.
Well, I don't know about threesomes,
But-
but just to
Specifically just...
seek intimate companionship.
Yeah.
Yes.
But as the night continues and closes, I would like to also close this episode. I will get into what you have
Great.
off camera, and we will discuss it quickly at the very beginning of next. But I don't want to divulge, break this down into anything less than I'm still kind of sad about this. So I think I want to end it today.
It's true. But one thing before we go, when we wake up,
Oh yeah, once you wake up, you four are level 8.
Oh man.
well, we'll see you next time, adventurers,
Yeah.
on the Swordcast Adventures.
It's like I'm drawing a new
I just said
character
adventures
portrait.
twice very close together, and it sounded bad.
Be prepared for new
It's okay, we're all
character
sad.
art.
Hey guys, this is Jess, or Rain as you probably know me. I wanted to take a second to remind you guys that my husband, the DM, has been streaming a bunch recently, doing a variety of things, some podcast related, some not, some gaming, some creative. You can find him live at twitch.tv/swordcastadventures. Give us a follow, turn on notifications, and that way you'll know when we go live. You can also keep track of what we're doing on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram at The Swordcast. And if you want to show your support in the most direct way possible, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/theswordcast. Or leave a review on iTunes or wherever you listen. It only takes a second and you have no idea how much it helps us get the traction we need to keep this thing going. You can find me and my fiber arts on Instagram and Twitter at Fibromancer, that's FIBROMANCER. And you can find me peddling my wares at fibromancer.etsy.com. Thanks for listening. We'll be back with the next episode Monday, October 1st. We'll see you guys then.